Hello.
Hi.
And welcome to Pat's Pop Show. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Pat, and I especially want to thank Meekling Press. From the get-go, the very first episode of Pat's Pop Show, they have been great supporters, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. So like I said, my name is Pat, and for the last 5 years, I have been reviewing pop professionally on YouTube.com. I have tasted hundreds of pops, and I have drank thousands of gallons of Coca-Cola, and that is something I'm proud of. Okay. How do I change the slide?
Let me know.
Thank you. Slide, please. I've always wanted to define soda pop on the show, and I never have, so here's my opportunity to do it. Webster's Dictionary says, soda pop is a beverage consisting of soda water, flavoring, and a sweet syrup. Wow. Slide, please. Soda pop. People are always asking me, Pat, is it soda or is it pop? In fact, when I announced this event on Instagram, my friend Diego said, as someone who's lived in multiple cities around this nation, where do you come down on the pop versus soda debate? I'll take my answer on Tuesday, thank you. My Aunt Christine said, why do some people call it pop and some say soda? And the regional reasons why. For the record, it's pop. Okay. Slide, please. Let's take a look at the map. Now, if you live in Chicago, like we do, you probably call it pop. But that's if you were raised there. It is a regional thing. If you grew up in New York City, for example, you might say soda. Same is true for LA, which stands for Los Angeles. If you're in the South, this is crazy.
Yeah, you are very correct.
Because Coke is what they call all sorts of pops. And that's, Coke I thought was a abbreviation of Coca-Cola.
Might I make an interjection?
Sure.
It's all Coke unless it's explicitly Dr. Pepper. I say this as a Texan. It's all Coke unless it's Dr. Pepper.
Thank you for that. No,
Now
that's
you
cool.
know. Now you know.
I love learning more about pop. Usually I'm the one who's teaching people. Thank you so much. And I actually did review Dr. Pepper on Pat's Pop Show on the YouTube.com. And I did not know that. I should have had you as a guest. But, you know. So a little bit about me. I was born in Chicago, and I was raised in Downers Grove, which is a suburb of Chicago, so I call it pop. Round of applause. Thank you. Slide, please. Let's taste some pop. Okay. Here's our first pop. Can you all see this? Yes. This is Dad's root beer. Now let's take a look at the label. That's the very first thing you're going to see with any pop is the label. And right here we've got a predominantly blue label with red accents and a yellow rectangle. It says Dad's in what I call an old-fashioned font. It says root beer, America's premium root beer, caffeine-free. This is primary colors. This is looking at you from the grocery store shelf. It's saying, buy me, try me. This is Dad's root beer, and it's good stuff. So, show of hands, how many dads do we have in the crowd today? You're kidding me. Okay, so if some of you are on the fence about impregnating someone, I've enjoyed it. And, being a dad, that is. So, actually, it's kind of a funny thing. When I am at the Mariano's on Ashland, I like to, I see this on the shelf. It makes me think about how I am a dad, and I do get a little teary-eyed. It makes me feel like a little bit happy. I think about my children. I think about my wife and that day when she pushed them out of her body, and it brings a tear to the eye. But here's the thing. I wasn't going to go negative. But to all you motherfuckers at Mariano's giving me dirty looks, I know. I came into the store right before closing. My kids each had a big gulp. We had been at 7-Eleven before that, and they were wired, that's true. And my son Peter, he grabbed a jar of pickles off the shelf and he broke it. It was a big fucking mess. And the lady at the cash register, she said, you know, you probably shouldn't give them pop so late. Keep that to yourself. People are always trying to tell you how to raise your kids, and that's not right. Even my kid's pediatrician was, he was saying, Pat, you know, you probably shouldn't give your kids 3 cans of pops per day. Here's the thing, Doc, it's those half cans, so it's like, I call them kid cans. Mostly old people buy them, but I buy them too. Let's taste this pop, okay? Tip tap. Slide, please. Slide, please. Some people are wondering why I say tip tap when I start out drinking pop. The reason is that, well, this is probably not a very reliable source. They say just tapping a can of soda prevent it from foaming over. This says no. But this was on chow.com, which is a bullshit website. Slide. I'm not going to read all this for you. I was going to, but I'm not interested in that anymore. And I just want, basically, I'll summarize. It says, yeah, it can be effective tapping the sides and the top of the can. So do keep doing tip tap. Enough talking. Let's try some. Oh, hold on. Check it out. You're always thinking, how is everyone going to try Dad's with just like this intellectual glass bottle? I got 2 more Big Daddy sizes, so. Alright, I don't have a cup. Just give yourself a little splash, pass it around. The same is true of you. Don't feel pressured, but if you want to have peak involvement in my presentation, I do recommend taking a taste of each pop. We'll start another one back here. Maybe an inch or so of pop is all you need. So let's take a look at this pop. This is a dark brown, almost black. It's very murky. It's hard to see. Can't see through it. You're seeing the bubbles on the side of the glass. That is the effervescent bubbles. That's carbonation. That's very interesting. That's what's going to give it that lift. That it's going to tingle your nose. It's going to give you that sensation of pop, and it is a nice sensation. Let's take a sniff test, okay? Put your nose right into. That's root beer. You can smell it. What is the root in root beer? I don't know. Nobody does, probably. You can smell the vanilla, the sugar. Yeah. Let's take a drink, everyone. Cheers. Ooh, that is good. So, right away you get that delicious, full mouthfeel of the root beer. It is so creamy. It is the root that is present. Ooh, I love that. That's Dad's root beer, and you know what? That gets a 10 out of 10. Slide, please. Let's taste some more pop. Slide, please. My friend Sarah from California asked, is it okay to like grape soda? Asking for a friend. And so I think I know what she means by asking for a friend. It means that she likes grape soda, but she feels for some reason that she can't admit that, maybe publicly. And I just don't know exactly why. I mean, I get it. Grape soda is probably a pop for children. But here's the thing. It's the 21st century. We are, you just drink whatever you want. Here's what I was thinking. It's about to get a little heavy. We are all but just a passing flicker in the cosmos, just a blip on the timeline of the universe. And if you want to drink grape soda, you should drink grape soda, right? That's right. If you want to drink Coke every day, you should drink Coke every day. We're all gonna die. And so who cares? It doesn't matter. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in heaven. But if there is a benevolent God and if there is a heaven, I have a feeling that there is a fully stocked fridge up there. And it has a little bit of something for everybody. It's got Coke and Pepsi. It's got Mr. Pibb and Dr. Pepper, Sierra Mist and Sprite. It has some of the hard to find ones like Green River and Ruby Red Squirt. And it has exclusives to heaven that you can't buy down here. Can't wait to taste that pop. Okay. I bet they have that in heaven. Yum. You don't have to go on eBay anymore to find Crystal Pepsi. You could just die. I wrote that. Everything else was written. Okay. Let's taste the grape soda. First of all, we're going to look at the can. This is Grape Crush. You heard it here first on Pat Klacza's Pop Show. Purple is an underrated color. It's true. Wear that because it'll make you look good. This can is very purple. Show of hands, how many of you had the fruit grapes? That's the exact opposite of the dad question. So I'm glad all of you know what grapes are like. These are some ridiculously purple grapes. These are not real grapes. If you have had red or green grapes, just know, spoiler alert, this pop's not gonna taste like that. This has its own qualities that are very interesting. Look at that fun logo. This is appealing to children mostly, but if you're an adult, you can get into that. It can make you feel young for a day. There's a little bit of splashing behind to just suggest that like pop that you're gonna feel when you drink this bad boy. And that's honestly, it's caffeine free too. It's kind of crazy. I picked all these caffeine free pops. Normally I'm a guy who needs a lot of like, to get through this day, but let's do a tip tap. And let's pass these grape sodas around. How did it go last time? Was everyone able to try the root beer?
Yes.
Good. Extra root beer. I'll drink that at the end of the show. Tip tap. I'll do one more. I got a 12 pack. This was in my fridge all day. Kathy can attest it was there. I took out some of the stuff she really likes to make sure it was cold. Tip tap.
Are you gonna shotgun one?
No. I'm a little surprised at the color of this. Maybe it's just because it's dark in this room. Hold it up to the light. It doesn't look that dissimilar from root beer, am I right? I thought this was gonna be like electric purple, like Kool-Aid or something, or like, I don't know, like a cran. Not at all. Holy smokes. Let's take a smell test. Oh yeah. Woo. That smells fantastic. That smells like when you go to the bank as a kid and they give you the little sucker and it smells, but the grape one. It smells like artificial grape. I have no idea where they came up with this formula, but I'm glad they did. Let's take a taste test. Cheers, everyone. Interesting. So I remember that root beer seemed to coat my mouth. This one has a much lighter mouthfeel. It seems to evaporate right away. It almost invites you to drink more. So here, take a second taste. I gotta say, that's pretty damn good. I haven't had a grape soda in years, and I am glad I brought it out tonight. You know what? That gets a 10 out of 10. Slide, please. Okay. I just wanted to tell you all a little bit more about me. My name is Pat. I'm 32. I'm in the millennial generation. And therefore I am a tech guy. I'm not going to tell you what I do in the tech industry. I don't like mixing business and pleasure. This is what I do out of work. I want to keep that way, so don't ask. I am in the tech industry though, coding and so forth, C++. The other ones, I know them all. Here's something that's interesting about me though. I have never tasted Lacroix. Wow! Unreal. I remember when I went out to Silicon Valley to become a tech guy, and I had this little tiny apartment, and in my workplace they had a free vending machine, but it was just Lacroix, wall to wall, no pops. Everyone boo. I didn't want to drink that shit. Not because all those tech guys that they didn't invite me out is like there was a problem, we didn't get along all that well, and I wasn't gonna become one of them. But you know what? I am a liaison to the pop industry. I am the one with the knowledge. I do want to know more about the beverage industry, and so I'm going to try Lacroix for the first time tonight. And some of you probably will too. Can you slide? First thing I had to do before bringing this out to my presentation was I had to figure out what the hell is Lacroix. I watched those YouTubes, and I would recommend you do that too. It's the biggest force behind America's recent Lacroix, Jesus, BuzzFeed, is sugary soft drinks. So I guess, in short, people are drinking Lacroix because they don't want to drink pop anymore. Well, I don't like that. Slide, please. Shit, go back. Okay. Does this look familiar? Maybe a little bit. This is a tall can of Lacroix, Cubana, Nicola, Mojito, Lacroix. Let's take a look at this can. First of all, you're gonna see an island theme. I'm seeing palm trees. I'm seeing a lascivious woman in a bikini. She is resting on the mojito glass, looking right at you, saying, "Drink me." I will. There's a beautiful blue sky, there's sand, there's escapism. When you drink this, you are not in the office anymore. You are in Hawaii. And doesn't it feel good? This is supposed to taste like cola, or else it wouldn't be called Nicola. It's also supposed to taste like a mojito, which I've never had. And yeah, I can't wait. It's Cubana, which is Cuba, I think. I'm not sure. I'm gonna pass these around. Tip tap. I got a 6-pack of these for $4.99, which strikes me as a little high. 88 cents gets you a 2-liter of Grape Crush. And now normally I don't go for 2 liters because I'm a can man, but sometimes you just gotta go where the value is. Let's see. Pass out one more. Tip tap. All right, let's pour this into the glass. Wow, what a difference. Wow. Oh my. This looks just like 7-Up and Sprite. Which feels good because I love those pops. I've had those pops hundreds of times. In fact, I reviewed them on my youtube.com show. And you can see right through it, there's a lot of bubbles. I think that is one of the qualities people like about Lacroix. Put it up to the light, please. Look at that effervescent nature of the drink. And let's take a smell test. That's trash. It doesn't even give you that same bubbles in the nose feeling that like a Dad's Root Beer or a Purple Crush does. I can't imagine drinking this and feeling like that sensation is nice, but strictly objective here. Let's take a taste. What is this? So I thought this was going to taste like cola, which is just like sort of the generic word for Coke and Pepsi. This doesn't taste like any of those things. It does. I've heard my mom told me what a mojito was, and it doesn't taste like that either. Tastes a little bit like bubble gum in my opinion. Anyone with me on that one?
Yeah.
0 out of 10. I do feel bad about wasting Lacroix, so.
Oh no.
Pat. Felt awful. Okay. So, a slide. In conclusion, I just want to let you know that you have all been involved in the first live taping of Pat's Pop Show Popcast. This is going to be a weekly popcast in which I talk about all things pop. I am taste testing pops. I'm giving you context. I'm placing you in 2019 context. I'm giving you the history of the brands. For all of those people who are new to the pop game, you will fall in love with it. For all those, experts, I'm going to enrich you even more. I am the foremost expert, and I am here to teach. I cannot wait to bring it to you. It is going to be available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, and SoundCloud.com. And honestly, I just hope you all rate the show on iTunes, tell a friend, leave a comment. That's the best way to make the podcast a big success. Okay. And I want to thank my the big sponsor of Pat's Pop Show Popcast. Slide, please. MailChimp. Have you ever looked at your inbox and just been like, this is completely unmanageable. I have 1,000 unread emails. It's not actually too funny in my opinion. 1,000 unread emails and you feel this dread, it's this weight in your chest of all these unread emails, people who are waiting your response, and I had that. And you know what I did? I got a sponsor for the podcast. It was MailChimp. I set up my free account. You get a free 30-day account, and you will have a seamless inbox. You will have efficiency. The junk mail, like Ann Taylor Loft, fucking Polo, Ralph Lauren, factory outlet store. That'll all go to your spam folder. You don't have to worry about that. All of those important emails, like from my mother, those go to your inbox, and you can respond to them in a timely fashion. That's right, just go to MailChimp.com, sign up for your free 30-day subscription, and you will be having a clean and efficient inbox in no time. Once again, that is MailChimp, and I want to thank them. Without them, Pat's Pop Show Popcast would not be possible. I also want to thank Meekling Press for hosting this tonight, but mostly I want to thank MailChimp. Thank you so much.